tonight. Welcome to the Count Mozart Show. Another episode with your vampire host extraordinaire. Not all immortals are evil. I want to thank you all for what we are doing together is magical. And I also want to touch on one thing, that if you watch Count Mozart's show and I teach you things, or I speak of things that maybe you don't even agree with, the amazing thing is you will see it come to light in other places. For example, in one of my shows, I was speaking of, and it was going to be a future episode, and it still will, but about cures for things, cures for diseases. I'll leave it at that. But as I'm doing my research and getting into things, but I already know these things, but I want to deliver you facts, and then you can check them out on your own. But just recently, a couple of days ago, on your Joe Rogan podcast, he had a Mel Gibson who said the exact same thing as Count Mozart. Now, what this is, my warm-blooded ones, and maybe even some immortals out there who are watching from your cold places, you will understand what I've been talking about, which is energy. Yeah? I'm going to harp on it, no pun intended. That's a reference to the last show. Because we are all antennas. So what's happening is there's something going on, and it's fantastic. Now, just because it's going in the right direction doesn't mean there won't be a scorched earth, if you know what I mean. And I want to say to those mortals and immortals out in America on your West Coast to hang in there. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. As Count Mozart's telling you now, I'm telling you now. I'm thinking about putting out an episode of the things I talk about, and then other people who are much more popular in your society who are speaking about these things too. It's just energy. It just comes to you, All you have to do is be still, it'll come. That's what happens when you do a show like this. You sit, cameras roll, and you let it flow. That's honesty, and that's what we'll always be together. We'll always be together in love, in peace, and we'll never leave each other. I promise you this. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for joining me. And we are on this journey together. And I also want to let you know about next week's episode of the interview with a vampire. It'll be unlike you've ever heard before. Count Mozart has repositioned his castle to include his guests and future guests. Now we just had a little fun with this young man, Big Shoe Joe, and that was a lot of fun. Good young man. And that was just the beginning to, warm up, so do you say, But come along for the ride, because it's only just begun. And I want to also tell you all that I appreciate everything you do. It might sound like I come down heavy, because I do, but that's because I love you. And, it's, if you don't love someone, you don't care, you hardly talk, Are there someone out you with somebody who doesn't really share themselves with you? Doesn't really talk, and it's just very, not too deep and stuff like that. That's okay, but you know what? Life's too short for that. That's boring. So I always have to throw something like that in, don't I? Yeah, well, because I know I'm talking to so many people, and I get it. Now, I got constancy, so I got no worries in that department. You know what I mean? But for some of you out there, you do. So open your eyes. Come on, wake up. I love you all, and you're all in the right direction. Everything is happening. I'm telling you, man. There's something. It's in the air. It's in the air tonight. It's in the air today for you. I love you all. Next week, the interview with the vampire with a very special, was a mortal, now an immortal. But, you know, that's the way it goes. I love you all. Stay tuned because we're going to be doing some live appearances, you know. Kel Mozart's going to get a little frisky. Join me. I love you. Ich liebe dich. Und have a good night. I promise I will see you soon.